Amiibo podcast.
Do you buy principle, not buy games that don't have like a box and instructions and stuff, or would you just
just a disc?
Yeah, would you buy discs only?
There's no way in hell. If that's gonna happen, I'll just get the digital version.
Okay. What if you're going further back in the gaming timeline, so it's like a Dreamcast game? Because this was a decision I had to make last week, and
it's a little weird because you can just burn Dreamcast games. So
you can, however, the last time I guess I need to ask like some ROM advice too, because last time I went to download a ROM, it was for this game called Mac and X, which is actually on my desktop right now. Okay. It's an Atlas game from the Persona team from like the late 90s or something. It's like a first-person shooter. I screwed up on the website I was on. Got me one of them viruses. It was real bad.
You fucked up.
I fucked up so bad. I was just like, I want this game with like it's 300 megs. I want it right now. I want to be playing Mac and X tonight. Let's go. Click, click, click. And it's like, what did you just download? It's like some sort of ad toolbar. Oh shit! And then it was like filling the screen with evil, and it was like, all right.
Like, here's a little hint I think you already know. If it says install toolbar, always just cancel it and delete it instantly.
But see, it'll like default to that box being checked, right?
I know, that's why you have to actually read.
I want this game button. It was stupid. In retrospect, I was an idiot. But I also want to know, like, what is the website? Because I swear it was Cool ROMs or whatever we talked about.
Yeah, it's something like that. I'll find it quickly.
Okay, because like I was wondering, is this maybe like a phishing site? Like, there's Cool ROMs and there's Cool ROM, and I went to Cool ROM and it's not safe. It's full of darkness. But,
Cool ROM. I've downloaded from there multiple times.
Okay, but they do have...
I've never downloaded ISOs. Only, like, actual, like, files for, like, SNES games and stuff.
Okay, whereas I'm looking for ISOs, because I want to burn these and have Dreamcast games, essentially, right? So
yeah, right.
I will tread lightly next time, but... Anyway, the games I actually did buy, just to make sure my Dreamcast even worked, there's like a corner of the Game Trader that's just like, hey, I think it's 3 for $5 or $1 each or something. It's just like, if
was
you
Crazy
want this...
Taxi in there?
Crazy Taxi was not in there.
Fuck.
I swear it wasn't. I would have bought that instead, right? I'm not an idiot. I would have gotten a game that's fun.
It's kind of the cornerstone, like, when the Dreamcast came out, oh, that's that arcade game. Crazy Taxi's going to be on that system.
Yeah. I like Crazy Taxi too because the car can jump. You just press a button and the car just jumps.
And it's Crazy Taxi is basically just like Offspring Jukebox.
Okay,
for the Offspring.
Yep. Soundtracks.
Yeah.
I have it on PC now, I think, because it was part of the Sega bundle. But I don't know that those Dreamcast ports were supposed to be any good. I heard they were kind of crappy. So... I don't even know if it includes the full soundtrack, because it would have been a licensing thing, right? So when they re-released it, they might have been like, "Oh, Offspring actually got big later. We're not gonna re-up on that." So I don't know. Okay, so I got Tee Off. It's a golf game.
Yeah. Okay.
From Acclaim and Championship Surfer, which
great.
Published by Sega. Oh, Mattel Interactive rather. Yeah. This game's unplayable. Like,
sure.
I heard the timing was really rough. Like, basically, I loaded up, like, I just checked on my phone, like, are these remotely anything? And they both scored over a 7 on GameSpot.com, circa the era I care about. So, like, Ryan Davis reviewed this one, and Jeff Gerstmann reviewed this one, and they both got, like, 7.1 and 7.2 or something. But that's circa 99, so that means nothing now. These are garbage. Now, but... whatever. My system works, so now I can look for Echo Defender of the Earth or whatever. And I also got Midway Arcade Treasures Volume 1. So, GameCube. It's got Sinistar, apparently.
Nice.
I haven't confirmed that, but that's why I bought it. But yeah, now I have these like jewel cases with just discs. So my game collection has downgraded a bit. in terms of what I'm willing to do. I don't know. It's so close.
Great.
It's like a block away. So I just walk over there and just be like, what's up? What do you got? And they didn't have a lot in terms of Dreamcast, so I was actually scraping the bottom of the barrel that they had. But, oh well.
That's what we talk about here. Barrels.
Scraping the bottom of the barrel to get the ash out from last week's burnings.
We didn't do any last week.
I might this week, but it'd be more out of like just grouchiness. It wouldn't actually be fair, but that's how we roll sometimes. So hey,
sure,
it's Nathan and Paul on the Burning Barrel podcast.
Yay! I'm not gonna cue it just because
I
didn't want to set everything up. Basically, this is as old school as we can get. I mean, it'll be there in post, maybe.
Okay,
it may not be. Who knows? I've been busy.
Oh, Amiibo update. I got Zelda. This is the backer card. The actual Amiibos.
We should follow up with what happened last week. Did you open the 2?
I totally did.
Okay.
So, and Marth has gone up in price. It's like $150 now. But you know what? I don't care because that dude's like level 20 something. I'm playing with that guy. That guy rolls with me now. You can't have them fight each other though, and it's the worst.
What are you talking about?
I'm pretty sure, based on me tinkering with it, all 5 of my Amiibos now, you can only load up one at a time, right?
You're wrong. I have had all 4 fight each other in a rumble. And level each other up the whole time.
Wait, so when it says, hey, scan Amiibo, you just scan another one instead of tweaking? Because, like, okay, I'll, like, scan Fox, and then Fox is there, and it's like, hey, feed him equipment and stuff. And if I press R, I can smash, but I can only choose CPUs and stuff.
So what you do is, when you put him on, you, like, do the feed, blah, 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 and then you save him, so he is in the system now. So when you do that with all of your guys, you go into, like, a smash or whatever, like just a game, you put the Amiibo on the thing, and they'll pop up in all 3 slots, like if you put 3 different ones in.
In just regular Smash, or do I still have to be in the Amiibo menu?
Regular Smash.
What? Okay, so I thought anything you're doing with Amiibos had happened in the Amiibo sub area. No, that's just for feeding them, apparently.
But you do have to register them to your like game and console or whatever.
Yeah, they're registered to that profile, and they're all like part of our collective of fighters now. They all got names and custom looks and everything, so I can just bring them into regular stuff now. That's great.
Yeah,
that's
absolutely.
way better than I thought, because I was basically just having one fight a bunch of CPUs to train up and whatever, so like they were leveling and stuff while I was like making dinner or something, which was kind of cool. Wii Fit Trainer like destroyed everybody. It was a 15 stock battle on the Pilot Wings level, which is a pretty sweet level. I kind of hadn't paid
most of
much
the
attention.
levels, really.
The Delfino one's alright too. I don't mind that. The Skyloft level looked really cool, but the thing with that is like those stages are like constantly moving to different areas. I kind of wish some of the Skyloft stuff was just its own level. Like you just be like, I just want to fight in front of this big statue for the whole time. Just freeze, stop going anywhere. But they don't let you do that. But yeah, Smash Brothers stuff. Okay, I'm glad we had this conversation because I was just screwing around. I'm bad at Amiibos.
Speaking of which, we did, like, after our talk last week, on that Wednesday where we worked together, we did start formulating our rarity list.
Like, just guessing as to what would be rare. And then there was a new batch released this weekend, and we were definitely right about Little Mac. He's already, like, $60-$70 on Amazon and stuff. Like, that guy's nowhere.
Yeah.
I don't know about Zelda, though. Zelda's actually the only one I found, like, at all of the new ones. Because they might have come out on Friday, but the stuff I was looking at said Sunday, so I didn't check until Sunday.
It was supposed to be Sunday. There were places breaking street date, and actually last week, John had one on Top Down Perspective Thursday that he had gotten that day. So they were
Mac?
They were
like
out.
Little Mac?
He had Zelda.
Okay.
Because of course he did. Everybody in the world can get Zelda because she'll be everywhere.
Yeah. Well, honestly, no, because like I went to a couple Targets and stuff. And I'm trying to think if I went to any other... Well, I went to the same place I got Marth and Trainer last week to see if they had anything, and they didn't. They have not updated their roster or whatever.
Okay.
But, yeah, like, I found like one Target I went to was just gone, like everything. It was like they had like 3 Marios left and like a Pikachu or something, and that was it. Like the shelf was bare. It was.
But like according to our rarity list, of course they had Pikachu and Mario.
Yeah, yeah. Are we like revealing? I didn't bring that.
We're not.
Here.
We're not
Okay.
actually done that.
We're not.
Really. So
I guess not.
We'll make it official in a Google Doc or something one day, and I'll just post a link.
Okay. Because I don't have that.
We'll
on
include
right
little
now, but...
pictures and everything, maybe.
Who else came out in this batch? Was it like Pit and stuff? Because those are probably pretty rare too.
Honestly, I can't remember off the top of my head. I know it was Zelda, Little Mac, Pit. I'm pretty sure was this one.
Yeah.
There was also. Oh my god, who the fuck
Oh, Diddy
was
Kong, who's also rare.
Diddy and Luigi.
Okay. Luigi's out? Okay. I haven't seen
and
Luigi
Captain
anywhere.
Falcon was this one too.
I don't... Okay.
Yeah.
I want to get that one because we're assuming it'll be rare, but I don't think it was above cost yet on Amazon when I was checking this weekend.
Okay.
So, yeah. Also, yeah, I've blown right past, like, I have now paid more money for Amiibos than Super Smash Bros. The game. So, I don't know.
That's easy to do. Like, if you're one of the people that bought all of the first run, like, right away, you already paid double. So...
I'm trying to think. It's like 14.28. Yeah,
it
like
was
$72 versus $65 or something. Plus, I
Yeah.
played an extra $1 each for Trainer and Marth because that story's weird. So, anyway, yeah, Amiibo update.
Okay, theoretically, they're going to release all of the characters at some point, right? Because one, they like money, and two, they kind of have to.
I guess so, because they're all playable characters in the game, and that's a function you could have, right? So
Dark Pit. Let's talk about rarity. How rare he will be.
Probably pretty rare. I unlocked Mr. Game & Watch in the game recently, so...
Okay, how rare do you think Mr. Game & Watch would be?
Like, a lot, and I really want the Mr. Game & Watch one, like, a bunch, because I actually really like that character. That was one of the best pulls they did in Melee way back. Like, that was just like, what? What is this? It's like, it's from before handhelds, really, like, crazy. Duck Hunt Dog, also. I want that to happen.
I know he's not going to be rare. I want a Mega Man. I just do. I want a Mega Man so bad.
We had a conversation as to whether or not he would be rare, and I think we ended up in the middle, because I think you're wrong. I think the children of the world today don't give a crap about Mega Man, and he's going to be rare. Like, because they're just like, yeah, this weird, obscure character from 30 years ago. Like,
I'm gonna take a quick chat poll for people listening. Like, I'm not going to harp on it, but... They'll be about 30 seconds behind anyways.
Okay.
How rare do you think Mega Man will be from a ranking of 1, very rare, or 3, as not rare at all,
super,
and 2B?
Like, plentiful everywhere. You'll trip over them. Like, they'll just have boxes and boxes.
Yeah.
Like, I don't
like
think it's
to
going to
see
be
what
that.
Other people say. I don't
All
think
right.
he's going to be rare. I really don't, but maybe that's because I grew up with Mega Man, so to me, he's just like a staple character.
Okay.
But he's obviously not, because he hasn't been in the other games, so...
Yeah. You were totally right, too. Like, he's just on the main menu. You can play as him right out of the box. I don't know why I thought he wasn't. So I played
because he's kind of in the corner. He's like the last guy.
Yeah, he's bottom right.
Yeah.
There's one more character to the right of him now, but it might be Dark Pit since I unlocked him or something. Like, he's in a weird... He's next to Sonic, right? Him and Sonic are hanging out.
I think so, yeah.
So, yeah, I played a 10-man stock or something with him and managed to win, but I was not super great at his whole suite of moves or whatever. There's some characters I'm like I'm so bad at playing as Ness, and I've only tried it once and just got destroyed by like level 3 CPUs, and I was like, that was so embarrassing. I just like fell off at like 20% and had no means of getting back up because you have to shoot yourself with an electric ball. And I couldn't make that happen, so that game's pretty great, though. You know what game isn't great, though?
What?
Gears of War 3. What a boring game.
Well,
I don't want to play it.
It's a Gears of War.
You're right, yeah.
Except I think we've had this discussion before. Like, I didn't very much like 2, and 3 kind of hit that sweet spot where there was nothing else like that style of game that I was playing at that time when it dropped. So I was like, whatever, I haven't played a third-person stupid brawly action game for a while. I'll just pick this up, and I enjoyed my time with it. But
did you play co-op, or did you just play it by yourself?
I played it by myself and 4-player co-op at some point as well.
Okay.
The 4-player co-op was not as good because I don't like having to rely on other people. Like, the AI does good enough for staying behind cover and shooting stuff that I can't see. So,
They really seem to be taking care of business to the point where I'm playing on Hardened, which is, I think, the highest you can play on by default before you beat it the first time to unlock insane difficulty or whatever. It's the one that basically says, this is the way Gears of War is meant to be played. Like, you should play it here if you play video games. And I was like, okay. And yeah, I'm just walking through that game, and it's not a problem. It's just like something about the way, like, one of my issues is that game seems to be written for co-op and what the characters are saying.
Sure.
But then in practice, it's like, well, I have to do everything because I'm the player. So it's like, we gotta get these fires out. I'm gonna grab this fire extinguisher and now do what I just said. Because I have to put it out.
That's a pretty good impression, I gotta say. It's not bad.
And it's just like, we gotta get these doors open. And you're just like, yeah, I will go over here and... Are you talking to me on the chair, Marcus Phoenix? Like, it just sounds like he's talking to me and telling me what to do.
Right.
And I was just like, all right. So I actually didn't mind that stage. You're on a big ship and you're fighting a giant tentacle monster that might as well be out of, like, Contra or something. It was just gross creature and you're blowing it apart. And then you just switch to Coltrane and his crew, and I was doing stuff there, and I just got kind of bored. Like, I was just, like, going through this.
I kind of liked the, like, flashback for Coltrane, remembering when he was, like, a famous star.
I'm, like, just before that part, but they keep, like, talking about it. Like, they're just like, we gotta go to the stadium. We gotta go to the stadium. I used to be a thrashball star.
Yeah, no,
like,
but,
God,
like...
this is all the stage.
That part is kind of fun for some reason. I don't know. It's kind of sad. It's kind of a sad part for a dumb character. The only dumber character than Coltrane in video gaming is Big Bo.
I love Big Bo, though.
Of course. Like, why wouldn't you? He's Big Bo.
Yeah, but, like, that crew of characters, they're just fun to roll around with in third person and shoot monsters. Like, some of these guys are just like, I just don't want you here. I just don't care. Like, I mean, I know Dom dies, and I want that to happen, but I don't know if I can make it to that part. Like, you said it's like 5 hours or something, but...
It's not long. Yeah, it's not long.
I don't know. I bought that game this weekend. I was basically just like, I haven't played this. I'm just going to go play this. And I was like, oh, it's like $10. I'll try that out. We hooked up the 360 again and set that up. That game never came out on PC, so it's like, that is as good as that game can ever look. So I don't have to feel bad on that front. But even then, there's like little moments where it's like, man, the lighting in this bit's kind of just not great. But I guess, what are you going to do? It's like 8-year-old, at that time, 6-year-old Xbox hardware.
Yeah, no, it's kind of weird too, because now that you bring it up, the one thing I really liked about Gears of War 1 when it came out is that there was different locations and like stuff going on, and it looked really nice because it was a new generation on new hardware. Yeah, and they kind of tried to push that with like the environments. Like, you would be in the slag mines or whatever the hell they were called, and it was all like molten-y, and there was a glow to it.
Glowing like that looked
or
nuts.
The train just like fucking flying down the track there, and there's like the sun setting. The tentacle monster things like flying along beside it. Like, everything about the first one was kind of like this new, really nice looking and clean plain thing, and it never, I don't feel they ever reached that level again. They kind of maybe called it in a little bit. They try to go more for story, but like, if it's a game about a bunch of big brawly dudes with guns, who fucking cares?
So like, something I'm kind of bummed out about is like, in the first game when you'd shoot dudes, there's just like thick blood ropes flying out of those guys, so you know that you're shooting them. Now they just blow up into emulsion, and it's like they're just lava men or something. Like, they explode into fire and orange and stuff. They don't blood up the way they used to, which just seems kind of... This isn't gross the way it used to be. So maybe that's why Resident Evil 6 fit the bill for what I wanted out of a third-person action game this weekend, because there's blood and gore everywhere.
Did you play a lot of that?
I played 5 hours of that today, and I
haven't played
more.
any of it, and I know I'm going to, so no spoilers. And I'm
All
actually
right.
serious about that.
Okay, like, I was slagging on that game when I just played the demo back at E3, like, 2 years ago, and then, like, the wave of reviews came, and I only paid attention to the bad ones, because that's kind of what I was feeling off that demo, so I was like, yeah, everyone agrees this game sucks.
To be fair, there were more bad ones. They're just straight up, there was.
Yeah, generally speaking, looking back on some stuff, though, like, Famitsu Magazine, those guys are crazy, and they like weird stuff sometimes, so they gave that game 39 out of 40, and they were just like, this game is awesome, and I was, what are you talking about? Alright, I'll just install it and see what's going on. And I don't know, like, it's dumb, but it just keeps it rolling, and like, once you're in a chapter and stuff's just happening, you're just like, alright, I'll just keep going, I'm just gonna fight these monsters on this train. And then you're just fighting monsters on a train. And then something else happens. There's like a giant boss battle, and you're just like, all right, I'll just keep going. Like, I just kept going, and then it's ranking your progress and everything. Also, I didn't know you could play as the, like, you could just choose the supporting character as your role. Single player. So I'm not Leon. I'm Helena something. Harper. Helena Harper. And she is a new character that they ginned up, as far as I know. And I'm not a Resident Evil guru, so maybe it's like, oh, actually, she appeared in Code Veronica towards the end for like 5 minutes. She was on the phone or something. It's like, oh, I didn't know that. But as far as I know, she's a new character. And yeah, I don't know. It's kind of like, I'm just rolling with my buddy Leon. And I've played as him before in like 2 other games, so it's kind of nice to get a fresh set of eyes on it, maybe a little bit, but it's third-person action, all that stuff. Way more just empty that clip than Resident Evil used to be, because like you can get perks essentially. So one of the ones I chose was just enemies drop stuff more, and that means ammo pretty much. So it's just sweet. I killed that guy. He had 8 shotgun shells. Now I'll switch to that and shoot all these other monsters and just keep getting skill points off of them and all this stuff. So like they kind of got rid of the treasure stuff to some extent, but it's just if you kill a tough monster, they will still drop basically money, but it's just skill points now. Yeah. And then you can break jars and barrels and stuff on the edges of the stage, but it's a very linear, straightforward game. Looks nice, though. Like, it's, like, turned all the way up in 60 frames and all that, and it's... I don't know.
You played it on PC?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Murdering controllers, though. Like, the way I did when Mario Party was new, of just, like... just reefing on the joystick and just like, this thing's gonna break. I'm just gonna break a 360 controller because it's got like a lot of QuickTime events, which I know some folks aren't into. I think it's fine. I'm not too bummed out by it. Like there was one or two where it was like, oh, in every previous instance where this event has happened, I pressed A and X, and now for some reason I can't do that. Like that threw me off. But I don't know there was one instance where I failed it, but it was like the reward was just the gnarliest, grossest video game death I've seen in a long time. Like, screw Lara Croft getting hit with rebar. This was so much worse. It was so bad. But, have you seen The Ballad of Ricky O? Dude, can you hear me?
Sorry, I muted. No.
You have not? Okay. Meat Grinders. I'll leave it at that.
Okay.
It's bad.
Oh, you mean The Evil Within?
More grindy, like more
grinding.
Hamburger happening than that. But Evil Within, man, like it's, I don't know, just the tight field of youth stuff in that game. I have not gone back to that game since that first.
Did we talk about how they realized they fucked up and put in a patch so that you can turn it to 60 frames a second and get rid of the stupid field of view?
No, we have not.
That happened the week after we talked about it. When I was bitching about it, it happened the next week.
All right. I don't know that I can roll right into another similar vibed third-person horror game right now.
A survival horror.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I kind of want to at least finish Leon's campaign. I think I'm almost done. I think I'm in the last area, but I don't know that as a fact. But I've done a lot of stuff already, so I think I'll just finish that and then not worry about the other 2 campaigns until I'm jonesing for something like that again, because they're going to cover some similar story beats. I can see that already, because all the characters team up at certain points. So you're just like, oh, I guess I'll do that again if I play as Jake, so I just won't do that for a while. And I guess, playing as Helena in Helena's campaign. And then I'll play Sherry Birkin's campaign a different time. See?
Yeah.
Feminist Frequency, can't get mad at this game. It's got what you wanted. You asked for it. It's there. Resident Evil 6. Boom. I've also been
They
too
can't
conscious.
actually get mad at a lot of stuff they get mad at. Feminist Frequency.
Yeah.
But
that Colbert thing, though. Also, you can't get mad at Captain Toad Treasure Tracker, because you can play as Toadette. So...
How far have you gone in that game?
Which game?
Toad Tracker.
Toad Tracker. I'm on the 2nd episode. So I'm playing as Toadette, rescuing Toad, and the stages got weirder. Are you playing it, or...?
No.
Okay. Yeah, I'm on the 2nd. I don't know how much that game has in it, but I'm at a point where, like, the Toadette stages are a little more demanding, so I'm not, like, as keen to go back and get all the stars in it. It's kind of the same structure as, like, some of the recent Mario games, where just beating the level isn't that big a deal, but there's kind of hidden stuff that you want to get. So, like, kind of like the 3 super coins or whatever, like in New Super Mario World. So, yeah, this is sort of like that. They're diamonds or something. But, I don't know. It's okay. I kind of wish you could zoom in more maybe sometimes. I know you can, but it's a very kind of distant, puzzly kind of game without jumping and stuff. It's all right. Like, as a gamepad game at night or something, like, it's a pretty low-key, easygoing game, so it fits that bill. But for primetime gaming, middle of the day kind of stuff, I was playing the Resident Evil. I also gave Borderlands 2 a try, and then
that is
stopped
Borderlands.
That. It is Borderlands, but just kind of like
annoying.
It's opening up, right? Like, it's just like, hey, you got all this quest log and stuff, and you can go all these places. I don't want to do that. So I kind of just did the tutorial area. I chose Zero, I guess. Is that character? The kind of stealth guy with the mask. And
yep.
He doesn't
That's
have...
him.
I don't know. Who do you play as in that?
Always a siren. Every time.
Okay.
So in that one, it would be Maya.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know. A little intro and stuff was fine, and Handsome Jack is a guy, and them kind of self-awarely poking fun at their own shitty ending in Borderlands 1 was okay, where it's just like, there's a line where it's basically just like, many thought it was just filled with tentacles and disappointment, but as it turns out, this new mineral or something flourished across the planet.
And disappointment.
Yeah, which is like, that was a shitty boss battle, you guys.
Writing that down really as the title for this episode.
Yeah. But I don't know. I played like 45 minutes of it, and just like it looked fine and everything. It was definitely still doing its thing, but I don't know. I just switched gears again and played that Resident Evil. This was before I played Resident Evil. Was that. So Gears didn't fit what I wanted, Borderlands didn't fit what I wanted, and then Resident Evil 6 kind of surprised me with just
I'm going to suggest
gore.
If you kind of want to try a Borderlands game, pre-sequel is a little bit different feeling, because you have this weird, like, you're in space a lot of the time, so, like, the gravity's lower, so you can do higher jumps and slam down and stuff, and you have, different classes, so you can get, like, a different field, because in the end, for Borderlands 2, like, you still have the Siren, you still have your basic, like, warrior, like, soldier-type character. Like, it feels a little bit bigger, but kind of the same as the first one. Pre-sequel kind of feels different, with, like, a little bit more toned down in, like, the dumbass comedy, too, which I've appreciated.
Okay.
But it's still there. Like, don't get me wrong, there is still some dumb writing, but... It's not Tiny Tina quality.
I haven't met Tiny Tina yet.
God,
so,
I hate her.
Yeah,
man.
That's like, I don't know that game has greater rewards further down the river for me, or if I should just leave right now, kind of thing. Like, it's just like, it's all downhill from here. It's like, oh, okay, I'll just tap out then before I get invested at all. Really, thinking back on it, the first Borderlands, the reason it worked for me was it was good. It was a good background game while you're listening to like new Basement Jaxx albums or something. Specifically, that was my case, but it's just like, hey, I got a new album, I'll shoot shit while I'm listening to it.
For me, I bought it on PS3 at the same time as my two friends that also, like, we all bought it at the same time and played it. So, like, it was the co-op game that we did.
And, I mean, it's got all that loot and all that kind of stuff, and I like first-person shooting more than I like dungeon clicking. So, there's still appeal there, I guess, for folks, but I don't know. Just that Resident Evil, it managed to get its hooks in. Like, it's got more punching. It's got more brawling in it than I was. Like, there's kind of some fun moves you can do where, like, enemies will just have a knife or an axe or a hammer or something in them already because they're a zombie. So you'll use that to just like finish them off. Which is kind of just a cool animation. Or if there's like I don't know, like there's almost like wrestling moves. It's almost like Dead Rising or something, like some of the stuff you're doing where you'll just like slam an elbow into their head or like smash them against a wall and it's just, they smash real good because Resident Evil. So, yeah, that it's like, it's kind of as dumb as the movies, but that's fine. I don't mind those either.
I like those movies.
Yeah.
Actually, I like them. I like them less as they went on until they got to the 3D one, and then I liked that for just the dumb spectacle it was in a theater so much.
Yeah, like 1, 2, and 3 maybe diminishing as you go, but then 4 was just so stupid, it kind of brought it back, and then I liked the one after that as well. And
I do like 2, though, a lot, because of all the fan service.
So just
much
Nemesis and stuff? Like
everything, like that is a straight up video game movie, whereas the other one is a movie based on a video game series.
Yeah, big budget Capcom action nonsense. So,
are you gonna get the remaster on Steam when it comes out, January 20th for $20? It's been announced, by the way.
Okay, maybe. I mean, I played that GameCube one quite a bit. And I could go for that, maybe. Yeah. Jill Valentine, she's pretty cool. Chris Redfield, man, not as much.
You have no idea how much I am obsessed.
Well, like, Chris shows up in 6, and you're just like, you chose the wrong guy. Like, who cares? Like,
it's weird, because he has his moments of greatness, i.e. punching a boulder in a volcano.
Yeah, he does do that. That's true.
Like, I kind of like what they did with Chris, because at the beginning he was, like, just kind of a dude, and then they just made him a stupid Capcom character.
A bit. Like, they just seem to give him more muscles. Like, he just bulks up more each game after the first one, and it's like, okay.
I kind of don't mind that, though, because I'm thinking in this world, like, when everything was normal, he was just, like, a normal, like, stars, like, cop dude. And then, like, as he had to survive and just, like, probably bash zombies' heads in all the time as he's just walking down the street.
Yeah.
Like, you probably get some muscle from just, like, meleeing a whole shitload of zombies over and over again.
There, like, since it's the 6th game, there's some nice awareness that this has kind of been going on for a while here and there. Like, it's just like, yeah, you get used to it kind of stuff. Of just, like, this is not the first diabolical, weird, transmutating horror I've faced in my time. So, alright. Like, there's a confidence there with some of the returning characters. But I guess as playing as a new character, they also have somebody to sound off against. Like, someone's, like, blown away by something, and then they're just like,
you kind of need the character that's just like, what the fuck is happening? It's like, oh, it's nothing. It's just Las Plagas.
or whatever.
Yeah.
It's the C virus now. It's a new virus.
It's a mutation, though, right? Or is it a new virus?
I guess it's a mutation. Really early in the game, someone just says, like, yeah, there's this new company, Neo Umbrella, and I thought that was so funny that it's just like, yeah, we're just gonna put Neo in front of it. Like, it's the same evil pharmaceutical company that killed all those people, like, 15 years ago.
Well,
but we're back.
It's always been the same company, right? Because wasn't Tricell just a sister, like
it's just a subsidiary or something?
Part of the, like, Umbrella.
But it had a completely different
conglomerate.
branding. This is just Neo Umbrella. It's just Umbrella. But it's in China, so it's different. Like,
you know what I found great? I was playing through the HD remaster recently again, and their Umbrella's security system is called Parasol, and I don't know why. I just was like, that's so good.
That's pretty good.
It's too good.
And there's just laser grids and all that shit. There's like some weird movement stuff that I'm still not used to 5 hours into the game. Of just like, you can like throw yourself on your back and like crawl and shoot and roll as you're on the ground. And it's just like, I don't know what I just did to throw myself on the ground like that, but it kind of worked out. Yeah. So now I'll stand up again. And
see, I think this is my problem, is that I am a big proponent of, I liked how the Resident Evil games were, which is why I love Resident Evil 0 and Remaster or Remake or whatever you want to call it still.
Okay.
Ever since 4 and up, I don't like what they did to make it more action-y. Like, I've never liked that.
Yeah.
And I have played a little bit of 6. I've played maybe about an hour, like, of Leon's thing. So, not a whole lot, but I've moved around a university campus a bit in my time. As Leon or Helena or whatever. And I just didn't like how it felt at all. It's
weird. The early, like, if you started the Leon campaign, the first little bit of it, they're kind of just arbitrarily throttling how fast you can go, and there's kind of just
the tutorial area.
Happening. Yeah, where it's just kind of walk over here. All right, now crouch through this thing, and like you're kind of just going for a bit. And, like, once they just kind of take that off, your character moves, like, really fast. It is, like, a fast game compared to, like, previous one. It's, like, chases and just, like, running and explosions and all this stuff. It's reminding me of, like, Uncharted pacing. I swear, like, this was impacted by those games. Like, they look to Western third-person action games and were like, okay, we're going to pick up the pace on this. It's not so much going to be, like... There are still some, like, freaky creatures and stuff, but the way you're kind of facing off against them, like, you always have a lot of bullets, and it's never quite the same kind of, I don't know, like, the same considerations are not there of just, like, conserving all your stuff. Like, you don't want to be burning through all of your bullets and all of your herbs too quickly, but if you die, it just you just get full health, like, when you reload. Like, in that checkpoint or whatever. So
it's not even necessarily that. I really like the static camera angles and having to use that as almost as a disability, like as a handicap against you.
Yeah.
Like, I really like a lot of that stuff that, like, people call is bad game design elements, which in a way it is, but at the same time I liked it because it added a little bit more to the horror when you would walk into a room and you heard a zombie shuffling, but you can't fucking see it. And then you turn the corner, and there he is, and you have a split second to make a decision. Of course, it doesn't matter if you played the game multiple times, because you know that zombie is always there, because it's a scripted event. But the first time you play one of these games, and you hear something, and you're just like, oh shit, I don't like this, you, like, turn the corner to, through a corridor, the camera changes, and there's a zombie, like, running at you or something. Like, Crimson Heads, man. Fuck them. Fuck them so hard. But, I don't know. There's so many things that the weird movement style and the things that people called, like, bad game design back then, which it truly was in a lot of ways, I felt is what makes that a thing. It's kind of like saying, well, I don't like this B-rated horror movie because it doesn't have, like, glitzy CGI or green screen effects or, like, whatever After Effects stuff. It's like, I like it for what it was and what it still is, in, like, my mind is just, like, the B-rated horror that Resident Evil should be, not this, like, Hollywood extravaganza that they tried to make it into.
This is so much more Hollywood extravaganza. Like, there's stuff that's just like...
There's explosions in the tutorial.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, even so, though, there's some just awesome set-piece stuff of just, like... But, like, stuff that's, like, M-rated, gnarly stuff. The way Naughty Dog doesn't do with their games. Like, this is, like, this bit ends with, like, stabbing a thing in the eye or something. It's just like, oh... I don't know. I don't want to call out specific creatures, but there are some cool creatures that I was happy to face off against. Really, there's one in my mind right now, and it was
called?
Pretty fun. I'm just gonna like I don't know what it's called. It's an underwater kind of area. It's a sea monster essentially, and it was so dopey the way that ends, but it was rad. Like it was fun. Like. I don't know. I think they've also have to have been impacted by like Call of Duty type shit too. Like there's like first person cutscenes where you're like in a vehicle as it's like flipping through the air kind of stuff, and you're just like, this is just Modern Warfare kind of stuff. But it's these characters in this ridiculous universe facing off against like monsters, so it's still got that Japanese crazy all over it. So I'm having a pretty good time. But yeah, I'll probably play more of that.
I mean, they still can do the, like, creepy parts without the, like, static cameras and stuff.
There's,
I mean,
like,
there
was
one
instance...
in 4 was the regenerators. That is, like, a classic Resident Evil move, to just have this creepy thing that is basically impossible to kill unless you know the secret. And it's kind of always around a corner. Like...
Yeah, there's a creature that seems to kind of riff on that in 6 so far, and it was a pretty neat area. So they go with some of that stuff, and just with the new graphical kind of fidelity, like some of that stuff just looks kind of gross. But yeah, there was actually one area where there was a static camera angle, and almost seemed like just like a tip of the hat or something to the Legacy. Like it was just like going up to this door, and then it was just like a stairwell or something just had that, and it was like, oh, weird. Like, this is so weird, because this whole game has been third person behind the back, and then it just switches to this. But, I don't know. Maybe it was on purpose. Maybe it was just easier to frame it that way. I don't know. But,
sure.
Yeah. Mad science, evil science happening. So, you gotta stop that stuff.
The most generic story in, like, the horror universe. Science like, gone wrong.
Oh, these scientists went too far. We gotta stop that guy. Like, sort of, but they've kind of upped the scale and, like, just big stuff. It feels like a Roland Emmerich movie or something. Like, just, like, global nonsense. Like, there was stuff that was like, oh, World War Z, like, stole this. Like, this game came out first. And then they're like, alright, we're just gonna throw that in our Brad Pitt movie, whatever. Like, just put that in here. Yeah, man. They go all over the place. All manner of vehicles. I haven't been on a ship yet, but they did that in 5, so I don't need it. But yeah, it's fun. Hey, what have you been playing there?
I've been working.
Oh yeah, what's that like? What's that all about?
It's been the worst video game I've ever played in my life.
It's kind of like a boring strategy game, right? But it's got that like layer where it feels kind of like an RTS.
To be completely honest, it's kind of like Papers, Please. So if you want to know what it's like to work at my job, play Papers, Please, in like an endless mode or something for 10 hours, and then go home and go on the computer for a while.
Oh man, a 10-hour session of Papers, Please. Just imagine. No one plays that game that much.
Like, I gotta say, though, if you do that, like, you can take a break every hour or two for, like, 5 minutes, walk around a little bit, and then come back to it, but you have to come back to it. That's my life.
Yeah, go grab some pretzels, maybe an apple juice or something, and then get back to stamping.
Why were they hiding that stuff?
I don't know, but now that I found it...
Well,
I don't even like Smarties, but I grabbed some.
I hate them. But I
ate a whole box, because I haven't had them in a while.
It was kind of like just
Halloween.
Like a spite... like
years
though,
ago.
Right? Like,
oh, to hide them?
Like, you hid these, so I'm gonna take some of it and just eat it, even though I don't really want it.
Oh, like, just like, I'm entitled to this too. Mm-hmm. So I'm I actually did want that orange juice, though. That was pretty good.
I never had the orange juice. It was all gone. The apple juice has been pretty good, though.
Maybe if there's still one tomorrow, I'll grab one. That would be sweet.
Yeah. There is still some. There's still a case.
Yeah, I was basically looking for just Pop to restock the fridge, and then was informed, like, hey, there's free stuff, too. And it's like, oh, okay. Well, that's way better. So, I don't know. Work perks. That goes together.
Sure. It rhymes, too.
Apple juice. Prior to that, or around that, have you been finding times for any kind of
I've been playing
interactive stuff?
I've been kind of logging in every night, World of Warcraft, and doing, like, my hour-long, like, daily thing, then logging off and kind of just, like, trying to find something else to do. Bayonetta 2 has been great, so I'm really digging that. Other than that, I'm just kind of picking away at, like, other little stuff, really. But Bayonetta 2 is kind of the one I'm trying to get through right now.
I should pick that up before too long. I don't want to sit.
Did you like Bayonetta 1?
I played, I generally like Bayonetta 1. It did not make my list that year, but that was 2010, the year of games, so that doesn't mean a lot. Like, that, it was like number 12, but all of these games are insanely good, so I don't know. That doesn't mean it's bad. At some point, someone throws a skyscraper at you. Pretty sure that happened. So that was fun.
This game starts off on a pretty crazy high note, too.
Okay. So there's like angels with upside down heads, like a dragon with heads in it.
There's always that, but do you remember in Bayonetta 1, like, her hair dragon demon thing?
Yep.
One of the first things you do in that game is basically that gets loose because she couldn't control it anymore. So you have to fight that.
Oh, man. Oh, you gotta fight your own hair. I did that a while ago. It was fun. But
ow, fuck.
I won. Anyway.
You did.
That's okay. That's you didn't. So did you check out the included Bayonetta 1, or did you just go, it's cool, I have it, and roll right into Bayonetta 2?
It was kind of one of those things that's like, okay, I'm gonna pick this up because it's essentially getting it half price with a game I don't really care about because I own it. Mm-hmm. So
whereas I don't. So yeah.
Oh, then this is the perfect thing for you.
I know. I'm gonna get it. I've meant to. It's just I've also meant to get Hyrule Warriors, and the list is.
I could probably just lend you Hyrule Warriors if you wanted.
Just
to try it out a little bit. Okay,
I have it.
That's fair.
I've already made that pact. I'm gonna get it. But okay, Bayonetta 2. Fight your own hair. What else have you?
That's like one of the first things in that game. That's why I bring it up. That's that's one of the crazy notes it starts on. Mm-hmm. So I thought that was kind of cool. It's destroying the city while you're doing it because of course it is. Everything in that game is destroying a city. But other than that, Resident Evil Remaster, because I am obsessed with Resident Evil. I'm in a Resident Evil place right now. So that's why I do want to go through 6. It's actually I'm planning to do a co-op with somebody who also has it. That's why I am waiting kind of to play it. Okay. Because I figure if there's any, this is probably only get played through once. Mm-hmm. I'll do it with this other person.
It's very co-op. It is designed with co-op in mind. Every area has a door that you both need to get to in order to proceed to the next area. There's kind of sequences where they divide you up in interesting ways, so one character's covering the other and all that. And if with just AI, it's kind of useless. It's just do a better job, AI. Shoot those zombies, because I can't do anything right now. But yeah, I don't know. That seems like a solid way to do it, probably. Who are you going to play? Are you going to be the main character or the supporting character?
Whichever.
Okay.
Because in my lifetime, I have played as all the main characters at some point, except for Jake.
Yeah, Troy Baker.
Yeah.
It's him.
Yeah.
He found his way in there as well, so.
Yeah. Yep.
Wesker's kid.
I'm trying to think if there's anything we haven't really discussed. We talked about that PlayStation experience and how much of a shit show that was, right?
The PlayStation experience?
Where I was saying,
with the X and circle confusion?
No, the like big conference thing where the dude came out and was like Final Fantasy VII on the PS4, and it's like the PC port.
Yeah,
like among other stuff. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, we talked about that a little bit. There's a game called Until Dawn. I'm kind of interested in seeing how bad it is. Okay. Because it is Heavy Rain. It's another Heavy Rain, basically. It looks like it. It's not made by the same people.
Okay, but it's an adventure game that's kind of serious. And
I think so. It's a horror game, not an adventure game.
Okay.
Yeah, and QuickTime events. So that could be absolutely god-awful.
Maybe.
Or it could be great.
It could be great.
It's probably somewhere... The worst thing for it to be is somewhere in the middle. Which is
right in the middle, where it's so boring and just underwhelming and nothing. Yeah, that's where a lot of stuff ends up.
Yeah.
But, yeah. Oh, we haven't really been making barrel calls on the list of stuff. But I don't know that I can make a judgment on Gears and Borderlands based on the small amount of time. They just weren't what I wanted this weekend. So
if I were to make a call on it from what I've played of them, Borderlands 2 goes in the barrel unless you have 3 other friends to hold it out with you.
All right, so in the barrel.
Yeah, pretty much. Gears would go in the barrel because meh.
Just, I actually remember back when that came out, there was a lot of belly aching from Cliff Bleszinski specifically about like getting lower review scores than the preceding games, and you're just like, well, it's. I mean, I know it's technically more solid code and like better visuals and all that stuff, but it's the third time out. Like, there's diminishing returns. You understand that, right? Like, you can't just do this over and over and get the same blank slate. Like, if it was somebody's first Gears game, it wouldn't pay off at all because it's all kind of very character dependent at this point somehow. Like, I don't care about Marcus Phoenix's dad, but the game thinks I should. So it's like, oh, we got to go do that. It's like, I guess I'm really indifferent to this like muscle man football guy that I'm playing with, and also literal football guy that I'm playing as. Like, I don't care about any of these people at all.
The better experience is by far Binary Domain. If you want like a third person,
just like a weird crew of characters and just robots and zany sci-fi
French
stuff. French robots. And they come up with like just zany bullet train. There's that sequence. Like, that was kind of cool.
Yeah, there was that sequence. You're right.
Yeah, I don't know.
There's essentially robot zombies, like in the sewer. The lost like ones
the
or whatever.
Ones or whatever. Yeah,
that are just like robots that come running at you.
Like, games that kind of stood tall in their prime. Like, I feel that, like, Gears, you had to have been there day one. You had to have been playing Horde mode with your friends and all that stuff. If you're just playing it as a campaign years later, it's not that interesting. Binary Domain might hold up better in terms of just, like, this is always going to be that weird third-person robot game where you could, like, yell at your AI teammates and they would ask you, like, talk to you with voice control stuff. That stuff was super dumb, but kind of awesome. I don't know. It's more unique. It's more distinct. There's only one of those. There's 4 Gears games. Judgment also.
Does that count as like one of the?
It's canon. Like, it's bared and stuff. Like, the same way I didn't know part of this campaign you weren't playing as Marcus, but that is the case. I guess in the same way it's just a full bared spinoff, which I don't know.
Fuck that guy.
A little bit, maybe, but I don't know. He's just another generic-ass action character. I don't hate him more or less than anyone else in that game, because they're all totally just nothing. Just nothing to me. And
they're
for
just
that reason,
nothing.
Barrel. Epic Games, barrel. Cliff Bleszinski's career, barrel. Oh, shit's full.
He doesn't really have one anymore.
Anyway. I don't know. Yeah, he kind of retired after. Well, went on top, right? Millions of dollars, don't need it anymore. His Twitter, like, background is super passive-aggressive. It's kind of weird. It's like an angry tweet he got from someone else. He just made that his background because calling you out.
I'm gonna look this up right now.
That's my understanding. It's like someone saying he should go back to first-person stuff or something. It's just like, this is a really weird thing to just put on your...
Isn't his name just Cliffy B?
Well, he's an adult now, so no, his name is Clifford Blazinski. He's a serious businessman.
You can't be a serious anything with the name Clifford.
Well, okay. I just think of that dog, but, you know.
The real Cliffy B, by the way, is his thing. And his header image is all he has ever done was Gears of War, 4 exclamation marks. In media makes him god of video games. I lost respect after he done the Gears, took his money and ran. Then trash talked about everyone for making games like he made millions off of. If he really cared, he would stop being scared, or he wasn't the mastermind behind Gears in the first place, and make an FPS to show if he is what people claims he is.
Yeah. That's his image, so...
I don't understand a word that he was trying to say.
It seems like it's a negative, though, right? That is like someone angry at Clifford.
That is 100% somebody mad at Clifford Blazinski.
Yep. It's like, oh, I just took the money and ran. And it's like, yeah, kind of. But, whatever. Smash Brothers? Yeah, games. I also... No, that was the Captain Toad. I think I'm caught up on that stuff. I could talk about movies, but if we want to continue the game segment, that's cool. We can.
Well, I mean, I'm looking around. I flipped this Last of Us case thing because you were like talking about the.
Yeah, you can't read it. The spine though, there's nothing on there.
That's exactly what I like about it. So now there isn't this cancer on my. Game collection shelf.
You should play maybe the rest of it. It's actually not. It's all right. It's got good stuff in it, but okay. I don't know.
It might have good stuff in it, but it's not fun. I bought this.
What is that? Oh, what anthology? Okay,
this is the Blu-ray thing because I already have it twice on DVD, and this was like $20. So I was like, yeah, I'll have all of those on Blu-ray, please. Also, more importantly, this.
Well, hold it. Big Trouble in Little China. Oh, okay, yeah.
Because
with that Fox minimal art thing.
I really, really like it. Like, it made me want to rebuy a bunch of movies I already own, some of which I own on Blu-ray, just for these stupid, like, little sleeves that they do on Best Buy now.
Yeah, like the actual
because
case
when you take it off, you get this.
I know!
But, I mean, that's okay, too, because it's still great. It's still a great cover.
Yeah. But, like, I was initially, like, they definitely caught my eye, but then it was like, oh, wait. Oh, those tricksters, they just, oh, well. So, yeah, I didn't rebuy anything.
Also The Purge, because it was super dumb cheap, and I haven't seen it.
Okay, I was like, I would never own that movie, but it's worth watching one time.
That's exactly what I bought it for.
Okay. Very good of you. You're welcome.
Sure.
The Purge. I heard the second one was better, but I haven't checked it out.
Who did this one? I'm guessing like Lionsgate or something. Like, you're welcome, Lionsgate. Universal, you're welcome.
Okay. Marketing. They I don't know. They pulled that movie out of nowhere and made way more than their budget in like one weekend. So,
but it is a movie, which we should talk about.
Okay. Yeah, The Purge. I would not put it in the barrel necessarily, but it's pretty... Just watch it. I don't know. We'll talk about it after you've seen it.
Okay. We talked about Interstellar, right? Yeah, it was kind of thrown in at the very end of the last one.
It's like, by the way, I watched that. And it's like, yeah.
Yeah.
There's a good... I think I might have said this already. Like, there's like a good 2-hour movie in it, but you need to rescore it and reorder it and just kind of fix it up. But yeah. That footage could be assembled into a good movie with the same basic story and ultimate message, but it kind of wasted my time, and that was too bad.
Can I talk about Carrie? I saw that new Carrie.
How do you feel about the new Carrie?
It was totally fine. It was Carrie.
Yeah, it was okay.
Yeah,
I watched it at a VIP theater in Abbotsford with a poutine and a beer, so I felt like extra good about it.
Yeah, no,
but
I know.
It was it had the bit with the rocks kind of falling on the house instead of the falling into the earth. So that's sort of from the book. Yeah, I have no significant issues with the new Carrie. Maybe, like, I kind of liked how she was clearly enjoying herself sometimes when she was revenging. That was kind of creepy. That was, like, a nice little thing. Whereas, like, Sissy Spacek's, like, super zoned out the whole time, just, like, using her mind powers. Like, Chloë Grace Moretz is kind of, like, smiling creepily as she's crushing people and shit. It's like, whoa, yeah. If you had mind powers, might as well have fun. I don't know. Judy Greer's in it. And, like, I don't know. Just the teacher. Mm-hmm. Julianne Moore is religious.
What I found kind of funny is that one dude dies just from, like, a bucket hitting his head when everyone else got just, like, straight up slaughtered. That was pretty funny.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think that's the book in the first movie, too, right? He gets conked out, and then, like, he's on the stage when the electricity happens, so that might be what
maybe it's
kills him, but
it's just dumb. It's just so, like, what an unspectacular way to die.
Well, it made Carrie mad. She was not happy about that.
Oh, she was so mad.
Yeah. Exodus, Gods and Kings. I watched that.
Okay.
Was it great?
Was it pretty good?
It's the second best biblical adaptation I've seen this year. Noah is still better and more interesting, but
sure.
It did some okay stuff, like a nice big character for Christian Bale to play. He does some cool stuff in there. Joel Edgerton as the Pharaoh, like he gets to do some kind of diplomatic evil stuff. The most sinister thing he does in the movie is kind of look impassively and go like this, and it's cool. People die when he does that. He's the Pharaoh, okay? He's in charge.
Yeah, no, I got it.
The Egyptian aesthetic was nice to see, just, like, lavish on a big screen of just, like, oh, yeah, like, pyramids and this crazy, like, line art stuff and, like, golden Anubis, I don't know, like, just weird design that culture had. Like, I guess it was just thinking about that kind of entire empire that existed on Earth and did a bunch of stuff, and now here we are, like, thousands of years later, and that stuff just looks weird and, like, future almost. Like, the haircuts they had are nuts. Weird hair. Egyptians have so weird hair, dude. It's crazy.
So weird hair.
So weird hair. Maybe, like, all the big controversy around it, like, just isn't interesting. Of just, like, oh, they didn't cast real Egyptians. And it's like, yeah, they're not going to spend $140 million on a movie with no names in the main roles. Like, shut up. That was never going to happen. So,
how would you feel if, for, like, that 12 Years a Slave, they didn't cast real black people?
There's plenty of popular black people they could cast.
Yeah, but what if they didn't get a real one?
That would be weird.
Yeah.
Like, that would be weird. But I don't feel that's a fair comparison point, because
what if they just got, like, Jake Gyllenhaal to do blackface?
Well, they got him to be the Prince of Persia, and that's not accurate either.
That's why I bring it up.
Yeah, but Jake Gyllenhaal is great, so I'm fine with that decision too. Same logic. Christian Bale is great. Aaron Paul is great. So shut up. Joel Edgerton's great.
How is Christian Bale as Moses?
He's great.
Okay.
He does a totally different kind of thing than Charlton Heston did way back when. So it's a way leaner movie too. Ten Commandments is terrible. It's 4 hours long, and there's just like an hour and a half of it that's just garbage that no one cares about. It's like this romantic triangle with some princess in Egypt and all this bullshit. It's just like, why is this here? Like, this wasn't in the Bible. This wasn't interesting. Like, why'd you make this? Whereas here they're just kind of maybe like. Apparently Ridley Scott has said the thing where there's a version of this movie that's 4 hours long, his classic director's cut way of doing shit. Like, there's more to this movie, but it kind of runs down all the stuff you want to see. It's got all the plagues happen, burning bush, you got just kind of divine judgment, Old Testament wrath. I actually really like how they depict God, because it's like a 10-year-old kid, and he's just like angry and bratty kind of 10-year-old kid. And it's just like, that is Old Testament God. Like, that is perfect. Like, it's just like, this punk ass is pretending to be a god. He's not a god. I'm a god. You should kill that guy. I'm gonna kill that guy with these plagues. And you're just like, whoa, settle down, kid. What do you? I got these powers. Just sit back. I'm gonna plague this.
That's actually pretty good.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just this intense little kid, and I was like, that's not bad. That kind of fits what he is doing in this story, which is just raining down awful things.
Being a little kid,
Egypt,
essentially.
Yeah, like it's like my people have been enslaved for hundreds of years. You think I just gonna let that go? Nah. Check this out, and then just like horrible thing after horrible thing, giant waves of water and all this stuff. It's just like, yeah, no, God is not happy with Egypt right now. And they make some of that stuff like real tragic. Like they get Pharaoh pretty good too. They give him some dimension. It's not just like I am an angry whatever. Like it's like the final plague. I don't know if y'all know. If y'all went to Sunday school. Firstborn sons die. It's no good. So he sits up with his kid and he's like, no, I'm gonna make sure nothing bad happens. And he's like sitting there, and then awful stuff happens, and he gets really sad. And it's like, yeah, that is a shitty thing to happen.
Kind of had it coming.
Yeah, I mean, slavery, and he went like that earlier, so can't just let that slide. But
right,
yeah, it was. They kind of do the Prince of Egypt thing where it's like the two they grow up together for a while. They're generals together, so they have like one of their campaigns earlier in the movie. And then they kind of have two swords that are symbolic of their kind of connection and all this stuff, and then they split ways. So I don't know. They sum up that Bible story pretty good, and just have big budget stuff to kind of be spectacular at certain points. So it was pretty solid. John Turturro was in it, and I didn't know that when I sat down, and then I was happy to see him. He was the original Pharaoh. He was like Pharaoh's dad. And Ramsey's dad, I guess. So, a little bit role there. Sigourney Weaver's in it for no reason. Like, her character is so small. That, like, stuff like that. And plus, like, Aaron Paul gets, like, nothing to do as Joshua pretty much either. Like, that's the stuff that makes you go, like, oh, there's probably a 4-hour cut of this in, like, Ridley Scott's garage or something. I don't know where he gets to keep that.
How many times does he say bitch?
0 times. In the whole movie. He
but
just
why
kind of looks
even
wide-eyed
cast him?
And have, like, wild hair. He has a great beard.
Why even cast him? Seriously. He does one thing right, and that's say bitch.
Man, typecasting. I also saw Aaron Paul stumble around drunk in a movie I watched yesterday called Smashed.
I thought you were just like, I also saw him at the airport just stumbling around.
Yeah, he was in Calgary just wasted. No, this is a movie called Smashed. It's basically about a couple who are alcoholics, and they kind of, one of them, played by Mary Elizabeth Winstead, decides to find help. The other doesn't, and it kind of impacts their relationship. It's like 80 minutes long. It's a really lean movie. It is not very long, but it's just kind of...
Would you say efficient?
Yeah, it was an easy watch.
So you liked it then?
Yeah, I liked it. Okay,
if you call it efficient, that means you liked it.
It gave me enough stuff to think about in its running time of just kind of... I have never been that drunk. Like, the drunk depicted in this movie is just, like, a whole nother level than I have ever experienced. Of just like, oh, I just woke up outside. I don't know. I better go back home.
Yeah, that's not a good drunk.
Yeah.
That's a bad feel.
I have to go to the bathroom right now. Oh, wait, I don't have time. Pissed myself again. Oh, well. Oh, I threw up. I better lie about that to my kindergarten class that I teach because, I don't know, I was wasted at work. Like, just kind of shitty situations. Both of the main characters, like, Mary Elizabeth Winstead is really the focus of the movie. She gets a nice performance in there. Aaron Paul is, I guess, the supporting player, but he does a good job too. Just it's like kind of a 2-character movie. There's some peripheral people they're impacting or like are trying to help them. Like, I think it's Octavia Spencer, that lady from The Help that everyone really liked, got an Oscar and all that. I think she's basically her AA sponsor. Nick Offerman actually plays like a dirtbag.
Nice.
Like, he's not just doing his like comedy shtick that is in like everything he does. It's like, oh, that guy is just kind of a messed up person. Like, it was okay. I was like, Nick Offerman's in this. I think I know what to expect. Oh, it actually wasn't just Ron Swanson again. Okay, cool. So, yeah. Like, he was in Kings of Summer, and it was almost the same role also. Just manly man guy. But now, different stuff. I haven't watched his
man
Netflix.
Guy.
Yeah, just steaks and big mustaches and all that kind of stuff. America. I got this hammer. That kind of thing. But I haven't watched that show in a while, but that was kind of what was happening there.
Okay.
So yeah, that was all right. And then I just watched a bunch of Mad Men. I love that show. I don't know if you heard. Still great.
I have heard that a few times. Yeah.
Season 6 better the second time you watch it. I don't know. I'm probably gonna finish that tonight too.
Okay. Cool.
There's 2 episodes left. So, ramble is over. How you doing, Paul?
No, I'm doing good. I'm just...
Of those things I just talked about,
yeah.
Do any of them interest you to the point where you check them out?
Not to the point where, like, Exodus, Gods and Kings does.
Okay.
But I won't see it in a theater. Even though, like, it's probably a better experience in a theater, that's something that, like, I can wait for it to be on Netflix in, like, 3 years even, and, like, I'll check it out then.
Alright, fair enough. That's... Yeah, it's not like rush out and you gotta see it. It's just, it's a solid, dramatic, like, treatment of that stuff. And I guess that's kind of a thing of just, like, growing up with those as, like, religious texts, and now they're just stories as an adult. It's like, this is a cool story. I don't care if this happened or not. This is just kind of a big morality fable kind of thing, and it works. And it's entertaining. Like, just... plagues, man, they're crazy. Like, there's just bad stuff happening on. It's like a disaster movie, but it's got some historicity in it, but then legend and myth and stuff all woven together, and that's the Bible.
10-year-old God.
Yep, 10-year-old God. I'm so mad.
Makes sense to me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I guess they basically just treat it as God is doing miraculous stuff. It's not as kind of finger of God doing things as Ten Commandments was. It's like there's kind of a chain of events that make the plagues kind of happen. Like, it's like, hey, river full of blood. The reason there's blood is dead fish. The reason there's flies is there's dead fish everywhere. Frogs can't live in a river that's full of blood, so they came out of the river and now they're hopping all around. Now they're all dead, and now locusts are coming to eat, like, all this. You know, it's like just kind of a chain reaction of stuff. And, like, cattle were dying.
Like if you bring a bullfrog to Australia, sort of thing.
Sure, yeah. It kind of had a logical progression to it that I hadn't really considered. They were just legendary magic things that God was doing. And they don't go to the point where there's, like, throwing down his staff and it turns into a cobra. That never happens. Like, they don't go that supernatural with it. Like, it's always, like... Or, for example, I love this. Moses gets hit in the head real bad, and then he sees a burning bush and an angry 10-year-old kid while he's, like, conked out on the ground.
So,
and
like,
then,
all of this could just be a hallucination, really.
Like, whenever Joshua sees Moses talking to God, he's just talking to himself. So it's just like, I don't know, but at the same time, like, Moa's just kind of a good leader. Like, they just kind of, like, he was before. They have him as, like, a general, but now he's kind of fighting on behalf of his people and all this kind of stuff. So there's, like, just... I don't know. There's good leadership stuff. It's a compelling character to watch his arc happen. Like, where he doesn't know that he's Hebrew, and then he finds out, and then he puts all of his energies towards changing their course. And I don't know. It was epic. They use it in every description of that movie, and it's like, yeah, no, that fits.
That is the
epic
literal
hero's
definition
journey.
of it.
Yeah. He, like, leaves his family to go do this big adventure, and you're just like, yeah, that works out. And he can fight. They don't really have that, and, like, I don't remember that much in the Charlton Heston one. I know he kind of wards off some dudes trying to get at the well or whatever, but they just have, like, Christian Bale stabbing dudes in the heart, like, a bunch. So, he is an effective warrior.
You have a Charlton Heston signed picture, you were telling me.
I do somewhere. I did
you don't
like...
have to pull it out. I just
okay. It's just like, see, it's true.
It was just kind of a weird story how you described you got it.
I was a little kid and I just sent him a letter because like I liked Ten Commandments a lot at the time, but I also was way into Planet of the Apes. Like,
and
the
you
first
were
one.
way into God. because
weighing
you
to
had
God.
to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was like, hey, this guy's cool. I'm going to send him a letter and just say, like, ask him some questions and stuff. I don't even remember. Like, he didn't reply. Like, actually, he just sent a signed photo. So, a little bit of snub, but it's cool. Can't expect him to answer everybody. And now he's dead. So, yeah.
Forever.
I was actually, when Bowling for Columbine came out, I was, like, bummed out at the ending of that, where he gets kind of talked to by Michael Moore about being the NRA president, and then he just leaves. Like, I thought that... You've seen Bowling for Columbine, right?
Yeah, no.
He looks like such an asshole in that movie. And it was, like, really sad.
I watched it again, actually, and it's hard to blame him, because it's like, just fuck off. Like, you basically are just trying to, like, make me look bad, so I'm walking away from this.
Yeah, you
like,
just come into my house and invite me on these pretenses, and then just kind of talk mess to me in my home. Like, I'm just gonna...
Like,
all right,
when that came out, I was like an angsty teen, so I was like, yeah, fucking drag him over the coals, Michael Moore. But then now it's just like, Michael Moore, you're a piece of shit. Like, you are the biggest fucking scumlord I've ever seen.
Yeah.
So, I changed... I went completely, like, around on that whole part. Where it's just like, this isn't cool. Like, he is being a straight-up piece of shit doing this. So, I don't blame Charlton Heston at all.
Yeah. Michael Moore. I haven't seen him... Like, has he made anything recently? Capitalism, A Love Story was the last one I
Probably,
saw.
like, Diabetes.
Oh, he just made Diabetes. Okay.
Diabetes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even so, I wouldn't put Bowling for Columbine in the barrel. There's some good stuff in there.
There's some really good stuff in there. I think that's what annoys me about him. Is that he has these shock tactics or whatever, but he has good research or something? Like,
yeah, like Sicko is pretty good as well. And
yeah, and Fahrenheit 9/11 was just the dumb, like, what do they call them? Like the
hot button issue,
the
like
tin foil hat wearers, like, documentary.
Yeah, that was a super successful movie though, and like they petitioned to have it considered for Best Picture and stuff. Like, it was just like, what are you talking? Like, this is of such a specific time. Like, that movie is irrelevant now. It doesn't matter. Like, it's like, that guy who used to be president shouldn't have been president. I'm going to tell you why. Okay? Like, yeah, that's like
dumb.
Something you'd encounter on YouTube. Of just like, what is this? It's like Zeitgeist or something. And it's just 100-minute documentary, some guy gin together. Like that one about sugar. It's like, dude, sugar's like, the sugar industry is corrupt and they're trying to get you. And you're just like, what? What are you talking about? It was a YouTube ad. It was crazy. But
something about YouTube ads, man. I go back to Carrie and that, like, prank or whatever they did, the, like, viral marketing they did for that, where they set up, like, the cafe to make it look like a lady gets, like, coffee spilled on her laptop and freaks out and just, like, strangles a guy, throwing him onto the, like, wall.
Yep. That was the thing they did.
Yeah. I thought it was kind of cool because it's like, this is the dumbest thing. And then at the end it's just like showing what's her face, like, moving around all erratically, and then Carrie.
Yep. That movie didn't do super great.
So,
well, wait a minute.
Do you have any more to talk about?
Soon to be a major motion picture. This is in reference to that. Boom. No.
Okay.
What's next?
Well, it's almost the end of the year.
It is.
Are we planning anything for, like, movies or, like, maybe running? Because I know Top Down does, like, their Game of the Year thing. But, like, is there something we wanted to do for movies, like, video games we could do, like, our own thing in a different way? Or, maybe just, like, just a straight-up rundown of, like, all media we liked during the year?
Oh, so, sure, like, just like a top 10 media? Like, just make it whatever?
No, not even a top 10 media, just like...
Oh, okay.
Instead of, like, a top 10 video games, like, number 10 this, number 9 this, just kind of, like,
2014 in media.
We write down, just kind of like what those stupid like social media sites do, is like year in Twitter, and it just like grabs a bunch of random stuff. Maybe we just think back and like, there was some really good shit this year. I mean, Gamergate happened. That was kind of cool. So let's talk about. No,
yeah,
you know what I'm talking about though. Like a year overview for each of us separately.
Like Grand Budapest happened, and then I guess Enemy came out. That was good too. But okay, I guess we could come up with like a more thoughtfully composed thing. I'm gonna say
rolling out the barrel.
Recent games, I haven't been compelled to play through all of a game in a while. You know?
But, like, you could talk about Alien Isolation a little bit and not have to rank it. That's kind of what I'm getting at. We could talk about stuff that we thought was, like, kind of cool or maybe important or something, but not have to feel the confines of this is better than this, so it is 8 instead of 7 or something. Okay. Just more free-flow, like, conversation.
Yeah, that probably fits this year okay for me, because I don't feel like I've... Like, oh, this is going to be nominated for Best Picture? Oh, I better check that out. Like, it's just like, I just don't care. Like, yeah, The Imitation Game, I'm sure it's totally a biopic. I don't want to watch that right now. Just, like...
I could talk all about DayZ. Because why would... I don't know.
Was that... I don't remember that coming up too often, so...
That was a big thing for me this year.
Okay.
Because it was kind of the early access game that I actually feel I got my money's worth out of, which I don't think there's any other one out there. I don't know. Like, not that specifically, but, like, I could talk a little bit about that for maybe 5 minutes, and then we could move on to Grand Budapest Hotel.
Yeah, again.
Because those two work together.
It's like the year of Stefan Zweig. He's back and better than ever. All these translations. That actually happened, but whatever. Austrian literature, son. That's where that movie comes from.
Yeah.
And it's great. There's some great stuff.
Or like, I don't know. Should we do the movie thing again this year? Because I know you watched quite a few movies.
I did still watch quite a few movies. I'd have to kind of go through and see if there's really enough to comprise any kind of meaningful, or it might just be like Grand Budapest was great, Enemy was great, Blue Ruin was pretty good. I don't know. I didn't really talk about Blue Ruin, I don't think, but it's a revenge movie. It's lean and efficient as well. It is 90 minutes.
You did talk about it, yeah.
I think I told you this.
Oh, Zodiac motherfucker.
Yeah, Zodiac motherfucker loves this movie, and he's not wrong. It totally does this thing really well. There's like little moments where it's like, oh, what's gonna happen? Like decent suspense and stuff. Just small scale, like kind of remind me of like Straw Dogs here and there, and like this movie Shotgun Stories, which Jeff Nichols made. But I don't know. It's small feuds, family feuds.
Oh, I love that.
But in
show.
Modern times.
Oh.
Yeah. It's no,
like
I'm talking like,
feud.
I'm going to shoot you with my rifle, family feuds kind of stuff. I'm going to stab you with
this
pitchfork.
Oh, like when Richard Karn was hosting. That's kind of what happened. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was the good era. You're right.
More so the Richard Karn era of that show than what's going on right now.
You're right.
That, yeah. Steve? What's the guy's name?
Steve Harvey?
Is it?
Yeah.
He's still doing it, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I found a guy on YouTube who does not like Steve Harvey. He made like a summary video of just him and his unpopular opinions.
If you look hard enough, you will find someone who hates anything that is anything.
More so Bill Cosby lately.
I hate water. I can't stand it.
I just wish it was more exciting.
It's just kind of like everywhere.
Just put Kool-Aid crystals in it. That's way better.
I can't stand that I'm comprised mostly of it. It really angers me.
Like I live in a dry climate on purpose, so I can be as little water as possible at all times.
Right.
Yeah,
that's what I'm talking about.
Some weirdo somewhere.
Just some asshole.
Yeah.
Do you want to do some voicemails? I got them ready here.
Yeah, we're running up early
backlog.
on this. Let's do some giant pile of. Let's just do them all. Let's answer all these questions super thoroughly. I also watched some Trigun, so all you anime kids out there, I'm watching that show. It's all right. It's pretty good. He doesn't want to hurt people, but sometimes tough choices. Like it's like, do you kill the butterfly or the spider? It's like I don't want to do that. You know what I'm talking about? Episode
I do.
18. Yeah. Gung Ho Gang. It's all right. It's pretty good.
Well, speaking of anime,
box sets. Yeah. Speaking of anime, voicemails. That's why I brought it up.
From Meowth. Specifically, there's a backlog of 4 of them, and I think she just gave up because we didn't do them last time, and then there was 2 weeks where we didn't do a cast at all. So
that's true.
Just like, these November are probably really dated. It's probably like Happy Canadian Thanksgiving. They're probably
well, it would have been American Thanksgiving like 3 weeks ago, but something about Black Friday shopping, or now we're just like hypothesizing what we were probably asked. So let's just actually.
And then what happens if she doesn't live up to what we hypothesize?
Then we won't have answers ready in our brains. So
and then she'll feel super bad. So maybe we should just do this.
What?
Oh wait! I just realized you won't be able to hear it. What
are you doing?
I have to quickly do something.
No, don't.
What?
Play the. What are you doing?
What?
You're not.
What?
What are you doing? You're not deleting stuff, are you?
What am I deleting?
I don't know. That was my worst fear. I was just like the empty recycle bin sound. I thought that's what you were going for. I was like, no! How could you do that?
No, I was just making sure that you could hear this.
I can't.
It takes a lot to make a stew. A pinch of salt and lavender too. A scoop of kids to add the spice. A dash of love to make it nice. And you got too many cooks. Too many
Okay, this
cooks.
is quite dated.
Too many cooks.
What?
Oh, never mind.
Too many.
That song is just so weirdly catchy. I think it's like a disease or something. Have any of you guys watched that? I mean, I had to watch it because I kept hearing about it from a lot of people, both online and at school. So I just watched it on my day off, and now that song's been stuck in my head for a little while. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. It's not as bad as the Titan theme was, but it's like, 80s sitcoms, they like to have a whole bunch of cheesy music and say the same words too many times they get stuck in your head. But anyways, that's the question. Have you guys watched Too Many Cooks?
No.
It's pretty strange.
Yeah.
I'm looking it up
oh
right
my
now.
god. Okay, you can't watch it right now because it is like a 12-minute video.
Okay.
But when you do watch it, you have to watch it from the beginning to the end and don't see how long it is where you are in it. It is It is this fantastically dumb thing that's the beginnings of I don't know, Family Matters, where it's there'd be the do 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 the song, and then it would pan to all of them looking at the camera and smiling or giving a thumbs up or whatever. It's basically
I know this era of television.
It's basically a parody of that, but it gets really weird at some point, and it's kind of great. And the idea is the show is called Too Many Cooks, and there's just 100 people in the cast, so that's why the credit sequence is so long.
Is it just a credit sequence
video? Yes, it is a credit
sequence
video, but there are 5-minute sections or 3-minute sections, so there's different types of credit sequences. So it goes from the standard step-by-step sort of thing with the house and the family to a sci-fi thing eventually to a cop drama, from the same era.
So just that era of
it's the
shows.
same song the whole way through.
Okay. So it'll get in your head after you watch 11 minutes of that song because it's a dopey jingle, but okay.
It's a dopey jingle.
I'm intrigued, I'll watch it.
It's
Adult Swim did this? That's what I'm seeing?
Yes, Adult Swim did it, so...
Okay.
When we're done this, you can watch it. Or maybe as a bonus feature when we're done recording, I'll keep us live and I'll play it in the thing, and we'll do first reactions or some dumb shit. We'll watch it all together.
I've been sort of checked out of recent internet happenings, so I would have missed this train. So
it was a train for maybe like a week or two, too. So that's why I was like, okay, this is dated now. That was like maybe the end of October or something. I don't know. The beginning of November, somewhere in there. But yeah, so that's that. Let's keep moving on.
Okay.
Hello, Paulo. Hello, Nathan. And Meowth 900 here again. I don't know if that part about too many cooks came in the mail or not, because I don't know when you guys record. But anyways, I've been feeling kind of grumpy lately. Because during the weekends, I have to do like 3 hours of homework assignments, because, you know, college life. They like to assign 3-hour homework assignments in classes. So, yesterday I was trying to do math. And I got the math done. I also got an outline for my English essay all done. And I think I managed to get some of the excess math online homework done. And it's just like whenever I'm at home and I'm doing homework, I just have a podcast in the background. I usually get snapped at by Mom to like, I'm lazy and I don't do anything besides listen to that video game and anime shit. And I just want to say, bro, I'm doing homework. Leave me alone. Or something like that. But, have you ever had those moments? I mean, I know back when you were young, computers didn't exist, but did you ever have those moments of doing, like, a crazy homework assignment? And then, like, parents call you lazy even though you're working hard? Or just like anybody in life, really. Have they ever called you lazy even though you work hard a lot? I tend to get that whenever I'm at home and it's the weekend, and it makes me sad.
Okay, so work ran for a second. I think a lot of people at our work think we're lazy because we're doing a lot of computer entry stuff. But
yeah,
there is
so it
one
looks
person.
Like we're just sitting there, not
Dude, they don't
involved.
know what we're doing. Like,
yeah, I know. I know.
Man.
I feel like this weekend, like super specific work stuff. I feel like some better understanding about what I'm doing and what they're doing was like communicated, so it's like, oh, okay, you have that too.
It kind of makes me just want to be like, all right, you come back here, sit here.
Yeah.
Every single airway bill, I will show you from the beginning to the end what we have to do for every single one of these. Like, including the, like, taking it apart, blah, 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 and then the end with all the photocopies, stapling them together, putting them aside in a pile. Like, everything, from beginning to end. And we will time it. And this is why, when I have, like, 20 of these, you need to shut the fuck up and leave me alone.
I guess so, but
They've been better. Feel like they have been better.
Yeah, but there's been days where it's like, I've just, you know, I do have a gap in the day or something, I do have a book or something, and I feel like, I think they think I don't deserve this, but today, like, I'm just doing my stuff. I've got it locked down to the point where I can actually take a little break here. So, I don't know.
Well, it's different with you because you don't smoke. And, like, my downtime breaks, I go out, like, chat with the warehouse guys, see what's going on with their end, make sure everything's okay. Then I'll have a smoke with, like, a few people or just stand around and chat a little bit.
I brought tea bags, so I've been taking tea breaks, and it's kind of awesome. I'm glad I did that.
Sure.
So, yeah. Chai tea is pretty good. And
I hate chai tea. It is the one tea I can't stand. There's a lot of teas that I do like, but I don't like I don't know what it is, that, like, chai taste. You know what I mean.
I know the chai taste, but I like that taste.
Yeah,
so.
I can't stand it.
Okay. I also love sugar cubes, and I love that they have some, but we need to buy more. We're almost out, and that's bad.
Oh, that isn't good.
I know. But, okay, so yes, I've been accused of being lazy. I wasn't listening to podcasts when I was doing homework a lot, because I think I'd find that distracting. It was a lot of music.
Yes.
Because, like,
video game music is perfect for that, by the way.
Yeah.
Because it's just ambient background noise. That's what it's made to be. So, also the Attack on Titan theme makes everything feel like you're doing an epic something.
It's hard to sing along to it, though, because it's, like, in German or something. I don't know. It's like, I have heard it dozens of times. I don't know how to sing along with that song. It is just like, Jaeger. It's the only word I know in that opening part.
Mick Jagger. Yeah, I know.
Exactly.
That's exactly what it is.
So that's been trouble. But For a long, like, I guess when I was end of high school, I was listening to a lot of podcasts while I was playing Counter-Strike.
Which is basically like doing video game homework.
Yeah. No. I can't really think of podcasts being part of my kind of ambient stuff until now. Like, I do listen to podcasts while I'm, like, just doing stuff, like washing dishes. Not so much washing dishes anymore because we have a dishwasher, but, like, cooking or putting laundry in or something. Background stuff. Or playing Smash Brothers, actually, is fine for that because it's just chaos nonsense happening on the screen. Not a lot of narrative stuff, but yeah, I guess accusations of being lazy I feel are work centric now, not school centric. Like, not shirking homework. It's more so work activities, or like listening to music at work, which I do, and I'm worried they think that means I'm not paying attention or something. It's like, no. I'll pause it. I know. I'm going to answer the phone now. That kind of stuff. I should probably just use headphones like you do. But the cable's too short. The one I have, I screwed up. But, yeah.
I guess what we're saying is you never get out of that, like, condescending people thinking they're doing better than you or more than you.
Oh my god. There's so much of that at our job. Where everyone thinks they're doing the lion's share. It's just like, man, where would this company be without me? It's just like, I literally just said the same thing. So we're at an impasse because, yeah, it's just like, is there someone further up? Like, I just imagine all strata of that business think they're the shit and that's what's making everything work. And it's just like, I'm not so sure. I'm getting actually more bold and confident in the fact that I am, in fact, doing more stuff than other folks, where I'm getting a little more bullish, and it's maybe getting...
It's getting to your head.
It's getting to my head. It is absolutely. But I feel that this weekend's worked out. So, I don't know what this week will entail.
Yeah.
We will talk about it tomorrow, but yeah, it'll be fun.
It'll be fun.
Power plays. Yeah.
Power plays. Fucking Christ.
We're going up that ladder, son. We don't.
There's no ladder. It's like a stepping stool, and we're already at the second last step.
I know. Yeah. Yeah.
It's not.
We'll continue maintaining.
It's not a high ladder to climb at all.
Not really.
Also, there's one specific person that might be listening to us ramble. We're not talking about you. I just want to clear that up.
I'm not.
I'm not talking about her at all. That is not.
It's true.
She has never been, like, this is going to sound maybe a little offensive. She's never been on my radar as somebody that I should worry about at work, like, at all, because I never thought that she had a condescending, like, thought maybe about us. Mm-hmm. Whereas I'm pretty sure the other little douchebag that you work with, listener, who I'm not going to mention.
God damn it, you can't. All right.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. This is so inside baseball.
It's
kind of...
Like, at this point, we should almost just invite her to guest on the podcast. Like, we'll just do a work cast.
This is the, snark about work passively podcast.
You better believe, if, like, you and I find other jobs and just, like, leave this one, we're gonna have, like, an all-out thing. I think.
Like, just a retrospective on our time at the company?
Yeah.
I don't think they'll make us sign, like, a non-disclosure, because who cares about most of what we do, but... Maybe I'm wrong. There's some things, but anyway.
There's some things we can't talk about.
It's true.
Like this thing that happened today that I want to talk to you about, but I forgot about till now. That
I can't believe
that might have something to do with ISIS. Anyways, let's go to the next fucking question. I'm not joking, by the way.
Oh, does this have to do with Sydney, Australia thing? Or,
no, it has to do with
memo?
It has to do with something that might have that we had to divert because it might have been going to an ISIS operative. Anyways, next voicemail.
What?
And I hope that voicemail wasn't too downgrading in the mood.
No, it was fine.
I'll try something that can lighten up the mood. Anyways, I've been playing Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate again.
Yay!
Apparently Marshmallow has convinced me to play Monster Hunter with him.
Right.
So that's what I do on the Saturday nights.
Cool.
At least until next month when they're playing movies. I'm looking forward to the end of Hellsing Ultimate. It's going to be so bloody and awesome. Sorry if I might have scared you. I have been called sick many a times on podcasts I listen to because whenever something crazy, dark, and edgy comes on, I make a lot of tweets that sound really, really scary.
You have no idea.
People can't take a joke these days, you know?
Yeah, I do know.
My sick humor comes out whenever there's something sick running on TV.
Sure.
Anyways, Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate.
Yeah.
Apparently that game is much easier when you're playing with other people compared to when you're playing by yourself. I mean, that should really be advertising on the game. It's like, okay, if you buy this game, you're going to need people in order to progress faster. That's like good, honest advertising, because I didn't know what I was getting into. But yes, Monster Hunter is like that. Are there any games you have played that have the same requirements as Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate? I mean, it can be MMOs too, because MMOs are apparently the biggest thing these days. I don't know. Draenor, Warcraft. What the hell is that?
It's actually an expansion to one of the biggest MMOs ever, World of Warcraft. You might have heard of it. Anyways, every MMO is this idea that you can do it alone, but for the end game, you need other people there to finish the end game content. It's a requirement. So MMOs don't count in this list that maybe we're going to think of because that is their whole existence, is you to play with other people.
So that ropes in like Guild Wars and Phantasy Star and stuff like that.
All of
right?
that, yeah.
All of that. That's
That's
I guess for like what is ostensibly a single player-ish, Lost Planet 2 is like unplayable by yourself.
Yes, it is. You're 100. It's not unplayable. It's just not fun.
It's not fun, and it like that is how I attempted playing that game, and I apparently was shortchanging myself because it's just like shitty AI dudes basically performing the role of co-op buddies. But I mean, I was just playing Resident Evil 6. That's a Capcom co-op game, but you could play it by yourself. Like it's okay that way. It works. This is like get 3 power pods to this rocket, and you're just like, this is so boring. Like, this is terrible. It's like, but what if you and several friends were doing this? You could each grab one and just roll, and it would keep going, and you could keep doing stuff. And then the big monster comes, it's no problem. It's not game ending. It was awful.
Resident Evil 5 is almost unplayable without someone else. That AI is real bad.
Like Shiva or whatever, she's...
No like, good. It's not unplayable. You can play single player, but you kind of take away any fun and enjoyment you might have. That game was meant to be kind of a co-op experience.
Like maybe Gears then too on that front.
Like the later
fourth one,
sure.
they're very much catering it to bigger and bigger co-op experiences.
Absolutely.
And I was just like, no, I just want to play this action game. Nope.
The Souls games, and not in the way that you want a co-op partner necessarily, but you want a community that you can fall back on for answers, because those games are kind of cryptic in some of the stuff they do.
I'm just trying to think of like some big, like honestly, both like 2 of the games I attempted to play this week, Borderlands and Gears, have very co-op centric like mentalities, and I'm just not really interested in that. Like, oh man, like I saw on Steam today, there's like Fear Online free to play.
Yep.
And that just has 0% of what I go to Fear for, which is spooky first-person horror
isolation.
Action.
Yeah.
And it's just like, why the hell did like what? That is like I have all the Fear games. I am not interested in what you're selling. Like, what is that? But that is a thing that exists. I'm assuming it has slow motion and you can impale dudes,
and probably like a cloaking mechanic. Or something.
A what?
A cloaking mechanic.
Cloaking. Yeah. Also, like, remember they had, like, the flying jump kicks and all that kind of stuff.
I remember. Yeah.
Like, Fear multiplayer, wow. Yeah. I played a little bit of that for achievements on the 360, but didn't get many, and then moved on. That game also has, like, notoriously difficult achievements. I played through that whole campaign. I have, like, 130 points. So, that's just how they went. But yeah, no, that is I guess just talking about multiplayer stuff in general at that point. But yeah, some games are easier with more people. It's true. Mm-hmm. It's true. I think
I kind of like, this is just throwing back to when we were talking about work a little bit in the last question. But then Chad, Final Deluxe, is like, what do you two even do? You just exist in my mind as people that exist. It's like, yeah, that's fair. Mostly... as far as you're concerned, that's all we are.
Yeah.
Just know that
for 40 hours or so, we exist at a specific place, and we both go there in alternating days kind of thing, right? Not alternating, because that would be weird.
The most important thing is just know that the reason you can sleep soundly at night is because we're doing what we have to do. Next voicemail. Last voicemail. Here we go.
Hello, Paul. Hello, Nathan. I saw the trailer for the new Star Wars movie, and it looks fun, I suppose. I mean, I'm not that excited as I would be if I was, like, I don't know, 30 years old or something. Because, you know, I estimate that the movie came out in the 70s, so it would be like 30-year-olds are probably super-duper hyped about this movie. Or something like that. Whatever the age range of people who are young children or young adults saw that movie in the theaters, they're the ones that are more excited than, say, the under 20-year-olds or something like that. That's something I noticed. I mean, Star Wars looks fun, but, you know, I'm not super-duper excited about it.
Sure.
But anyways, I'm looking forward more to Hobbit Battle of Five Armies, to be honest.
Okay.
That movie looks fun. It's got a huge dragon in it, so I'm excited to see him kick butt.
Yes. A little bit.
So, you guys excited for a new Star Wars movie? Maybe. It's okay if you're not. I mean, Paul probably doesn't care. Nathan's probably going to be pessimistic and say it's going to suck because it's something new.
That's literally what happened.
How do you feel about the new Star Wars, The Force Awakens?
I don't like that title. I think it's boring. That was the first
thing. It kind of is.
It's just a generic title. I also did not know that was Andy Serkis talking over the trailer, and I'm now disappointed in him because that was boring. Like, that was not spooky, compelling monologue shit. So there's that too.
Did we talk about this in podcast form? I swear we did.
We did. We talked about the trailer. I'm just thinking, like, for someone to have been 10 years old when Star Wars first came out, they would have to be like 47. So, yeah, it is people. It's like not quite our dads, maybe, but I know my dad saw it in theaters and stuff. Like, they're the original inductees into Star Wars fandom.
Sure.
I got it secondhand in like the mid 90s. And so I was there day one to see episode 1 and all that shit.
What was your first Star Wars movie? Because mine wasn't actually A New Hope.
It was A New Hope over and over and over. I didn't see the other two for a while. Like, I just watched the first one. Like,
so
over and over again.
Get this. When I was growing up, the only Star Wars movie I ever saw until I was a little bit older and could go to a video store to rent the others when I found out they existed.
Yeah.
The only one, and I saw it like maybe 10 times, it was on an old VHS tape.
Yeah?
Was Return of the fucking Jedi.
That's the one I assumed it was, because it'd be super weird.
Part.
Okay, it would be weirder to watch the middle chapter over and over. I'd just be like, I don't know, he just always ends and he's frozen. It's weird. I don't know what happens.
It was weird because
there's clearly a sequel.
When they first come into that movie, every character is established, and I had no fucking idea what was going on.
So it's like, there's just these robots, and they walk up to this big place you've never seen and ask to go inside, and then Luke in that movie is just a complete mystery, because he just walks in.
He's completely different. Like, okay.
Yeah.
If you don't know
Jedi's,
that he was...
temple.
If you don't know he was just, like, a scruffy nerf herder on Tatooine, working for his Uncle Owen.
2 movies ago?
Yeah.
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 The confident Jedi that walks in is
the
not
first
the same
thing
guy.
you see of Luke Skywalker, if you take my role growing up, is like him waving his hand and controlling people's mind and kicking everything's ass. So it's just like, I can see why people like this guy. He's so fucking awesome. And then you watch the other ones.
He walks in and force chokes those guards and then goes into the throne room and just, I know.
Oh man,
that would be weird. But I watched the first one a bunch, and then eventually same thing, like video store. It's like there's more of these. And it's like yeah, you should check it out. Oh, okay. And then I almost feel like I watched episode 4 like dozens of times. Mm-hmm. Saw Return of the Jedi like once, but thought it was really scary. Like the Emperor and stuff, I thought that was the worst stuff ever. Like on TV with like my cousins. Mm-hmm. And then it was like, okay, I actually need to like fill in this gap or whatever, and went and rented Empire Strikes Back, and then saw Return of the Jedi again, rented. Like I forget, it was like we were like house sitting or something. Like I saw that and Raiders of the Lost Ark during house sitting things, so they were like weirdly not in my normal like home. It was weird. Inductions into those movie universes, but yeah, Empire's kind of crazy. I don't know. There's that big worm. It's in the asteroid field. I like the asteroid field stuff.
Final Deluxe says the first Star Wars movie that happened in my time on this planet was The Phantom Menace.
Mm-hmm. I didn't hate that movie. Like I did not at all. I saw it like 3 times. I was mad at people that were falling asleep. Like one of my friend's parents fell asleep while we were in the theater, and I was like so mad at them. I was like, "What are you talking? This is the new Star Wars movie. There was tanks and tons of crazy stuff going on.
Let's get one thing.
How could you?
Let's get one thing right here.
Yeah.
Movie has some dumb shit in it. Every single person in the world can agree to it. Jar Jar Binks should be as hated as he is.
Real, not funny. Yeah, just pretty shitty support. Yeah. Okay.
The droids are cool in that movie. Darth Maul is even cooler.
Yeah.
And it spawned the best fucking racing game on the N64.
It was. I've actually been curious about the Dreamcast version of that game because it also was ported to that, and I'm assuming
you should probably order it for any money.
I know. I have to have that in my home.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, there's a good racing game. It was actually a good, fast-paced sci-fi.
I'm not kidding.
Racing game.
I liked it. I liked that racing game a lot. I still have it. Next time every time the N64 is plugged in because I wanted to play something, that gets a play a round or two.
Episode
every
1
time.
Racer, yeah.
Every single time.
So much better than the actual Episode 1 Phantom Menace game.
In fact, hold on.
It's like this third-person action game that was on like PS1 and PC.
Yeah, I remember. I never played it, but I remember seeing screenshots of it.
It's like isometric top-down platforming parts. No, it's not even isometric. It's just like top-down stuff, and it's like I can't jump. I don't in Naboo, like the Gungan City. That level was the last stuff I played. I was just like, all right, I'm done with this game. Oh yeah, right. The box has Watto on it, and it's like black.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's right. I thought that was on the disc, like the cartridge art as well, but no, it's just
like if you have an N64 and you go to a video store and you just see this like in a pawn shop or something, fucking buy it. Like I'm not even kidding. This is a hidden gem, people.
Licensed games also, they don't get ported. They don't come back. You need the original stuff for that. So, yeah, that's like typically that rarely happens. So, exciting Star Wars stuff. So yeah, I am pessimistic. We already went over that, but it could work out. I'm not sure. But
it's Abrams,
don't feel
right?
bad. You don't need to feel more excited than you feel right now because it's kind of
it's Abrams, right? This one,
JJ, yeah. It's J.J. Abrams.
Who do you hate more, J.J. Abrams or Joss Whedon?
Joss Whedon.
Okay. I
am more tired of Marvel stuff than what J.J.'s been up to. Like, we put on...
J.J.?
Well, because like it's not like one specific thing. Like, he did 2 Star Trek movies and then bounced over here and all this stuff. Like, we turned on Super 8 again. That movie's okay. Like, it's better than I remember.
Super 8?
Like, yeah.
It is,
like it
is the most Spielberg-y throwback to old Spielberg movies.
It is such
ever.
a tribute to Spielberg stuff, but like
there's
there's things in it that still just kind of hold up. Like I thought Elle Fanning's performance is actually really good. Kyle Chandler actually has some nice stuff as just this kind of single dad. Like there's actually good character stuff in it, and like good batch of kids, like good kid casting. It was like the Goonies or something in terms of like just chemistry between kid actors. It actually had that right in a way that was kind of funny as opposed to annoying all the time. So that's not even what Spielberg produced the Goonies, but that's not really the same thing. So it's like the kids from the Goonies plus like Close Encounters, but also E.T., but with like an evil alien that breaks stuff instead of a cute alien. It's a weird mashup movie, but it's alright.
That was a weird twitch.
Yeah.
That was like a Michael Jackson Thriller twitch, like to a beat or something.
It's better than Avengers, like whatever. Fuck that movie. Loki sucks. Y'all wrong. Why would I watch Thor 2? I'm not gonna waste my time.
I haven't seen it either, honestly. So
yeah, I didn't like Thor 1. Why would I watch Thor 2?
See, I like Captain America 1, but I still haven't seen 2 either because I feel like I got my fill of what I wanted from Captain America from the first one,
which is Hugo Weaving with a red skull. And they're just like he's not in the second one. Yeah, I don't care about any other Captain America villain you can pull out. I do not care.
Also, like the one line where he's just like talking about like want to go kill some Nazis or whatever, and he's just like, "No, sir, I just don't like bullies." It's like, yeah, okay, that's a great line. That's great. Red Skull, done. This movie's done.
Yeah.
No more Captain America ever.
Like, no, we got like several more movies planned. It's like, I'm good. Filled my quota.
Yeah.
Marvel stuff, man. There's gonna be so much of that. And then DC's doing it too. They're trying to do the same thing. And I don't want any of it. I don't want it.
I want more Green Lantern, damn it.
Oh, God. That movie.
That movie was something else. Oh, man.
Oh, it's so bad.
That movie, man. Holy shit.
Martin Campbell, what did you do? Like, that's the GoldenEye guy. He did Casino Royale. That's a good movie. And then he made that.
Okay, so
Purple Alien. Ryan Reynolds.
I've never been like really into Green Lantern because why would I be? But yeah, I was reading some people talking about like the lanterns, and there's like other colored lanterns, and they sound way cooler. So it's just like the fact that the Green Lantern is the one that like is the superhero or whatever that they focus on in DC a lot is a fucking travesty. Like every other color lantern is super cool sounding, except like for maybe yellow or something. I think yellow was a lame one.
I thought yellow was fear. I thought that was kind of a bad ring to have. I thought Sinestro has that, but I shouldn't know any of these things. Just forget it. Yeah.
What if I told you there was black lanterns?
Yep. And I know this. They're like when Blackest Night or whatever was coming out in the comic book, there was like promotional rings at all the stores, so I have like a red lantern ring somewhere, and yeah. I tried using it as a wax seal on a letter. Doesn't work. It just gummed up the ring with wax.
That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. I love it.
Dude!
I tried using it as a seal.
I love wax seals. I love letters, too. So
wax seals are pretty great. They're pretty good.
Yeah. But it didn't work, so pro tip out there, don't... Maybe something with the temperature of the wax or what kind of wax. Maybe you need sealing wax instead of just candle wax. These are things to consider. But...
Also, Marshmallow says Captain America is only good when you're American. Fuck you.
Well, it's probably better, but I don't know.
It probably is. Everything's better when you're American.
Okay.
Except the TSA. You guys get fucked. Because the TSA are so bad to deal with. Every time they come by to like audit stuff or whatever, I just fucking hate every single person they send from the TSA. They're trash people.
I actually had an okay TSA experience at John Wayne International.
No, you didn't.
It's a smaller airport, so it just seemed more ragtag.
Why would you lie to me? Why would you look me straight in the face and lie like that?
They seemed more like humans than at our airport. So I think ours are weirdly like strangers in a strange land, and they're grouchy because they're in this kind of weird like sovereign soil area, so they have to act like American, but they're not in America, and I don't know. They get weird about it up here. Down there, it just seemed like people at work, they're just like, oh, we're out of gray plastic tubs. Oh, no. Oh, like, and there were so many PSAs about just like, hey, you forgot your backpack and stuff. Like, they seemed like just customer service people. So, I don't know. That was my one. That was like, of 4 airports I went to, that was the one. Oh, they're actually not totally cold and spooky and indifferent and feeling you up and all that stuff. They were actually people-ish. It's kind of fun.
That being said, there's a lot of CBSA agents we deal with that are human trash.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, customs. They're easy to blame for a bunch of stuff. Oh, yeah. I need to talk to you about something else after, also. No, I think I told you about it already. But anyway.
Okay.
Work stuff. Workcast 2014.
Right. Anyways, that's it.
That's it?
That's it. That's a podcast.
Really? We didn't get any from Marshmallow or anything? There's no...
Marshmallow doesn't give a fuck about anything. He doesn't... He doesn't listen to us anymore. He doesn't like us. In fact, I'm pretty sure he told me that Nathan can go suck a D. I'm pretty sure.
That? Is it because of the Monster Hunter thing? Because I just don't have time. Also, I don't really care. But I don't have it. I don't have... What was... Are you serious? Are you joking? I don't know.
I don't know. We'll find out next time.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know. There's nothing... There's no good thing to end on.
I'm going to put this surfing game in the barrel as well.
Bottom
of the barrel.
I almost feel like we should get a barrel and just like I'll get a separate webcam just looking at this.
Or just like a little. Okay.
And just like throw things into it or something as we're talking about.
And then set it on fire over the credits at the end of every one.
It would be pretty funny. It's just like I bought this
fills with smoke.
I bought this PSN game. It's fucking garbage. You just see this PS3 get thrown into the barrel haphazardly.
Yep.
Yeah.
I've been thinking about getting a second PS3, but
they're cheaper.
They are cheaper than they used to be, but not super cheap.
They're not.
It's like $200.
They're not
$250.
PS2 cheap yet, where you can just pick one up for like $30 somewhere.
Yeah, not quite. Even the refurbs are like $110 or something, if you can get one, which I can't. So they're sold out. Anyway, that'll do it for this week. Once again, that was Paul and Nathan talking about media and stuff. Send in emails, Twitter, all that nonsense if you want.
Podcast at burningbarrel.co, and you can... Okay, so there's a separate page now for podcasts, because when people like I'm 3D Homer or like whoever writes an article, it would just get pushed down the first like week by like 4 podcast things or something, so it would be gone. So that's to kind of combat that. So the main page, burningbarrel.co now, is where you'll get like the reviews, and the gaming thing we'll be working on more at some point, the gaming age thing, all that sort of stuff. So that'll be there. But now it's podcast.burningbarrel.co, and that's where all the podcasts are, including like the indie talks, the retro kill screens, everything's there. So that's where you'll send in the voicemails as well, because there was no point in having the voicemail thing on the main page when it's a podcast thing. So go to podcast.burningbarrel.co. Also, I have to just quickly say, I laughed and was a little bit annoyed at the same time. Not really annoyed, but I go into work, I sit down, I'm just like, oh shit, I gotta like write down a phone number or something. So I grab my little post-it notes, and the first 3 post-its say, the first one says there's a man, the second one says going round, the third one says taking names. So I laughed, but then at the same time said, this is inconvenient because I just wasted 3 post-it notes.
I'm sorry. I was still thinking about The Hunted so much at work. I had to get it out of my system, and I thought it would be a little message to the next person at that desk, which is you. So
don't get me wrong. I haven't thrown those 3 post-it notes out. I pulled them all off together, and they are stuck like where my monitor is now.
Okay.
So
well,
they're
sorry for wasting those. I can buy you a stack of post-it notes.
It's honestly not a big problem. It was just kind of one of those like, what's it? Oh, and then I laughed. And it's like, okay.
Okay. There you go. Workcast. Okay, so, yeah, any questions or feedback on any of the media stuff? Are you excited about Star Wars? I don't know if we should have a question of the week or something, but...
Do we care if you're excited about Star Wars?
No, well, no. So, I guess, what Amiibo are you most excited about?
That's kind of what we're cut. Oh, we should post... You know what we should do when we get that, like, Amiibo rarity thing done? Is we should make it a form somehow. Like, I should put it into a form of if people, like, what they would rank them. Like just
who
do
you think is going to be rare from subsequent shipments?
Well, just like little radial dials. Like, it'll say, like, Link or whatever, maybe, or even just, like, show a picture of them, and then it's just, like, rare, common, or, moderate or something.
Is it true Rosalina was declared a store exclusive or something? Like, I don't know if she's going to be readily available.
Rosalina, I believe, wasn't.
Okay, but maybe she is now. I don't know. I've been hearing kind of
from, like, what
things.
Store?
GameStop, I think, might get it, but I don't know.
GameStop's getting Shulk.
Or, sorry, maybe it was Target. It might honestly have been Target, because that's where I've been going.
Okay.
Because there's one near me.
Oh, dude. This was updated. You're 100% right. Rosalina and Luma, breaking fucking news, is now going to be Target exclusive.
Okay, I gotta camp out Target Sunday morning. I don't know. There's one near us, so that's actually been my go-to Amiibo place. That's where Zelda came from, but I don't know. They're like a slower big retail store, so it's not as oppressive as Walmart.
They're basically a Walmart, but like not
they're kind of like a Zellers, but a cleaner Zellers because it's new. So it's got that. Anyway, that's it for this week. See you guys next time. Barrels. Keep them burning. That's the thing, right?
There it is. Bye.